welcome to a Dragonball Legends Chrono Crystal Guide 2023 for the month of January. So this is an updated version of the previous guide, and I will be taking you through all the methods of receiving Chrono Crystals for this month. Now, bear in mind there are other alternative methods for you to farm Chrono Crystals. However, I would not suggest doing those methods just yet. Those methods you should keep more for bigger events like the anniversary or for the Legends Festival. And when I say those events, I'm talking about farming story mode or farming Z equips. So Z equips can be farmed up to 1,000 times basically, and you do get gems out of that. So if that is a last resort, I would suggest keeping that for the anniversary. However, for now, I am going to show you guys 3 ways of getting, or 4 ways of receiving Chrono Crystals for the month of Jan. And this would be basically for ending the month. The one way would be PvP. Now, PvP season is ending next week Wednesday or next week Tuesday, and you guys can receive up to 1,200 to 1,300 Chrono Crystals depending on what your rank is. Now, I would advise being in the top 10,000 in the world. That's probably the best place to rank, as you get the most Chrono Crystals from that ranking, as I would show you guys over here. So if you are within the 10,000 percentile, you get up to 800 Chrono Crystals. 3,000 to 6,000 is 900, 1,000 to 3,000 is 900. I don't expect you guys to actually go for God rank. However, if you do, it does give you 1,000 Chrono Crystals. Bear in mind, you need to be in the top 10,000 to receive those rewards. If you're not in the top 10,000, it basically halves your reward and you only get 400 Chrono Crystals. I will bring out a guide on how to stay in the top 10,000. It is actually a pretty sweet trick, and you don't have to actually grind that much. It's basically more or less an observation sort of grind, but I will have a video on that tomorrow or whenever I have time. Without further ado, let me get into the Chrono Crystal guide then. So for PvP, you can get up to 1,000 Chrono Crystals, which is awesome. So that's the one way of getting Chrono Crystals for this month. Another way would obviously be the raid. Now the raid is ongoing at the moment. So if you play the raid daily, which is 3 times daily, you are able to get 300 gems off of the missions, which is here, as well as 1,000 gems from the exchange shop for doing the raid. So you get 300 gems there and 1,000 gems from the exchange shop. Now I already got my 1,000 gems, so I won't be able to show that. And another method would also be the Tournament of Power. Now, if you're focusing on your Tournament of Power, I would suggest watching Azdeek, as he does have a Tournament of Power guide. Shout out to him for that. Always appreciated. And his guide does show you exactly how to get the best teams for the Tournament of Power. Now, I am using one of those best teams, and this team will eventually get me to where I need to be in the Tournament of Power. So, with the Tournament of Power, you are guaranteed to get 100 gems if your score is between 15 to 27 million. So that's a good milestone for getting 100 gems. And wherever you basically rank would give you another 400 up to 500 gems depending on your rank. So if you go to the season details and you check, you'll notice that between 18 million up to 27 million gives you 100 gems. And your ranking reward depends on where you stop. So when the Tournament of Power season ends, you can get up to 500 gems depending on what the score is at that time. And yeah, here's all the gems. You can get 400 gems, 300 gems, 200 gems. The minimum is 200. So if you guys are not really good at the Tournament of Power, I would suggest aiming for the 200 gems plus the 100 you get by just playing. So that would give you another total of a minimum of 300 up to all the way to 500, which is decent. So that would happen on the 1st of February, and that would be the closing of the gems for the month of January. Now, there is one more section, and that depends if you are a veteran or a beginner player. If you are a veteran, you most likely have done this already, so you guys can skip this. However, if you are not a veteran and you practically a newbie to this game, welcome by the way, then you can do the freezer face-off, which is ending in 2 days. That gives you another 500 Chrono Crystals if you have not done it. Now, I am on my last step, so that will give me an additional 200. So yeah, guys, that's all the ways to farm Chrono Crystals for the month of January. And with patience, you will persevere through this, and you'll notice that by the time February starts, we'll have another guide because every month we are due to get a Zenkai, which would give us another battle gauntlet as well as a battle royale and new PvP season. So if you guys follow my advice and continue saving, by the time a hype unit comes, we should be well over 20,000 chrono crystals. As always, I hope you guys do enjoy the content, and if you do, please do subscribe and follow, as it does help, and genuinely I am appreciative of. Cheers.